voix, c'est choix nous.
Tu voz es nuestra elección.
Ta voix, c'est notre choix.
The voice of Florida.
La voz de la Florida.
Your voice is our choice with Dr. Karen Green.
Good morning, blessings, and welcome to another show of The Voice of Florida, where your voice is our choice. Today we have a special show for us. There's so much happening in the world. And before we start and introduce my special guests today for where it's going to be a very special show, I just wanted to take a moment to focus on Florida today, the emphasis on what is happening. As you all know, today is 50 days from Election Day on November 5th. And you know, one of my most important requests and priorities is always to protect voting rights and just for democracy and our freedom. And so today we're going to be focusing on reminding you that you have only a few days left. If you live in the state of Florida, you have until October 7th to register to vote for the general election for November 5th. We're going to be talking to two special guests today who are dear to my heart. And we're doing things a little different today. We're doing things where we're talking to our global diaspora and our friends and family across the globe. Friends that are actually from the motherland who are currently in Africa. Before I go to this program, however, to that interesting dynamic introducing my guest this morning, I just want to take a moment to focus on, as I mentioned, what's happening in the state of Florida. As you all know, within recent days, within a week approximately, we have had somewhat of an attack of discrimination, in my opinion, towards our Haitian Americans living in this country, to a point where people are now being restricted in Ohio. The state of Ohio now has bomb threats and scare tactics and horrible things happening to our Haitian Americans who are immigrants in the state of Ohio. Across the country, they're now being attacked just basically by affiliation and or by identification. Let us be clear that immigrants built this country. Let us be clear that everyone who is of African descent, who is from anywhere in this world, is of African descent. And I wanted to point that out this morning. We stand united with our brothers and sisters from Haiti, whose nation has succumbed to so much tragedy, not only environmental because of disasters, but because of political unrests. And these are folks who have come to the United States like everyone else for the American dream. In most cases, came here because of the unrest and the concerns in their nation. And today, I just want to recognize the over 1.2 million Haitian Americans living in this country, and in the state of Florida, over 500,000 who are living in the state of Florida. That we love you, we respect you, and we know that what you've been accused of is not correct by stereotyping who you are and that you are some level of, just your dietary requirements. The truth is that if we all look to see what all of us as humans are eating on this nation, if we're not vegetarians, we are all preying on animals. And so this morning, I just want to take a moment to tell our Haitian brothers and sisters that we understand this indifference We understand the racist comment towards segregating us as Africans, as Haitians, as people of color in this country. But we will cease that today, that I will not even mention what the concerns were. I'm going to say to you today, stand strong, hold up. We love you. We know and believe in your American dreams, and we support you. Also in the state of Florida, as you know, yesterday we had what is now recognized in a second assassination attempt on the former president, Donald Trump, while he was playing golf in his Mar-a-Lago, Palm Beach property. Again, I do not support any level of violence. I also am happy that he did not succumb to what was seen as another attack on him. But I also know that this story in this country is not just about political violence. It is about inciting unrests. It is also about, in my opinion, guns. Guns, guns, guns. As a matter of fact, the guns that was referred to in this country, the freedom of guns, particularly in the state of Florida, where we know what the gun rights is and just who has it. And so today, I just wanted to point that out this morning before I get into my program on The Voice of Florida. You do know that what we say on this program, The Voice of Florida, it's our voice, it's our choice. We're literally exercising our constitutional right to speak with free speech and also to value your opinions. So again, thank you for tuning in to The Voice of Florida. And we will now move into today, one of my most honorable, you will see in a few minutes just how precious these guests are. Right now, I welcome my dear sister, Hilda Hall, who is currently in Africa. Blessed love, Hilda. Welcome. Can you hear us? We're not hearing you, Hilda. Can our technical support see? You're muted, Hilda. I'm not sure what's going on your end. I know that we will not succumb to any challenges because we need to hear you. We're not hearing you. Technical support. Hilda, can you, I'm going to have to ask you this because we know what we're dealing with. Can you just log out and log back in, please? While Hilda is doing that, I just want to take a moment to introduce my sister. Hilda Hall is, she's, can you hear us? Please log out. Can you get out and come back? Now, this is what we're looking at, technology from across the globe, and I'm reaching out to her directly to ask her to log back in. Hilda, that's me calling. Can you log off and log back in, please?
Okay.
Now I can hear you. I can hear you, Hilda.
You can hear me on the phone. I can't hear you, though.
Okay, go ahead. And I think I'm hearing you on the program. Log off and log back in, please. Thank you. We apologize for that technical difficulty. We're reaching out across the continent. Hilda is currently in Ghana, a Florida resident, one who is by far a foundational builder in the state of Florida. I will wait for her to get on the call, but we're so excited to have her calling from the motherland because what she's doing right now is so important towards this demographic of African Americans and wealth management and just the diversity of empowerment. So as we wait for her to come back, let us just continue.
Hi, how are you?
Wow, welcome back, Hilda. My gosh, thank you. This morning, I just want to take a moment to welcome our sister, Hilda Hall, who is not only a pioneer, but an entrepreneur, one who has not only continues to build our wealth, but for our demographic, she continues to be a business development person, and now has ventured into even a more enterprising project. Hilda, I love you, and I thank you for joining us from Ghana this morning. How are you, Queen?
Wonderful, wonderful. I'm enjoying myself. How are you? I miss you.
I miss you too, sending out. But this morning, I wanted to say how, first of all, we want to apologize for the delay in broadcast this morning. You know how we have technical issues sometimes. And this is why we're at a place where we're building on these priorities. Things happen, but you know how we are, the show must go on. Hilda, thank you, thank you, thank you. Before we move into anything else, I want to take a moment this morning to ask you to introduce yourselves. I've been over here, so, just basically cheering you on with what I know you've done. But I'm also going to ask you to introduce yourself with us this morning. How and who are you?
Okay. Hi, everyone. My name is Hilda Hall, and I am the president of a company that's a business consulting company. It's called the Small Business Doctor. I also have a few nonprofits that I have. One is called Sisters United Network, where I work with women who are formerly incarcerated, and I help them start their own small businesses as a way to restore themselves. I also have another nonprofit, and it's called Read Before You Plea. And what that is, it's educational. It's educating people about taking a plea and how it will change their life, whichever direction that they're going in. But the Small Business Doctor works with a variety of small businesses. I've been doing this since 2017, but I've been in the nonprofit arena for over 30 years. I've been president of a few nonprofits. I've worked for, Kodak Corporation. I've worked for the YMCA, Head Start. So I've had a vast, diverse background in nonprofit development, educational development, and my previous position prior to opening my company, I was an incubator director, and it was funded by NASA. So I worked directly with NASA, introducing technology to small businesses. And during that time, I had assisted over 5,000 small businesses. Wow. And whatever new technology that NASA had, that could be converted into something that we use today, such as those mattresses that we hear about. There were some fishing lures that had some lights on them that people are presently using. It's just a lot of things that transferred over from the space industry to small businesses. And so I was instrumental in working with that. And a few of my clients actually have gone abroad to work with diabetes. I have one company that's in Singapore now because the number of diabetes cases in Asia had gotten so bad, and he was unable to enter the marketplace here in the US, but he found a home in Singapore. I have other clients that created long-term batteries that the military is actually using. We had gotten some funding from the Department of Defense. So I've had a great run, a lot of clients. And when I realized that it was my turn to actually start my own business, one of the things that kept coming up was people calling me. And they were calling me and they're saying, can you do this? Can you do this? I said, well, you act like I'm a doctor and you keep calling me and you're asking me for, a diagnosis. I said, well, the name Small Business Doctor came into play after that. Because I said, I guess I am a doctor. And if I can't help you, then I'll refer them to someone else who can. So that's how the Small Business Doctor got started.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. That's just the surface of what you do. And I want to thank you for, you just basically highlighted how many lives you've touched, how many businesses you've enhanced, how much development you've encountered. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I know your work hasn't stopped because I know right now where you are in Ghana, you are spreading the love and spreading the wealth and wanting to make sure that those around you are enhanced just the same. I'm not going to be biased here. I need to let you know that Hilda is a dear friend and one who I trust, respect, and love. And I just took the time this morning to make sure that we're not only talking to her, but we're sharing her vision, her value, and what she does in this world. I know we spoke in recent days about what you're doing currently in Ghana.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
You told me months ago just how you saw the need to increase wealth, to enhance and empower those living in Africa, and how you saw the interaction and you looked at what was natural to you, your love of people, your love of culture, and your love of art. And so tell me how things are moving along right now in Ghana.
Well, it is so amazing. You come on a journey thinking that you came for one reason, and God changed your trajectory. You don't know. I thought I was coming for relaxation and, just to spend a good time with some friends that I've, acquired along the way. This is my third trip to Ghana, but I would say this is my fourth African country I've been able to visit in this lifetime. And I've just fallen in love with Ghana. It feels like home. So I started looking, and each time, because I am an entrepreneur, because I'm a trainer, and I always see the opportunities. One of the things that I thought was so wonderful here, and it's something that I think we all need to share, is that no matter where someone is, they are out there trying to create a business opportunity for themselves. If it's not for the people, when you're driving down the street, you see people with packages on top of their head. They're selling water, they're selling anything, plantain chips. And that is reflective of even, the diaspora for all of us, for African Americans, for Caribbean Americans. We are hardworking, and we are people that will create something out of nothing. I see people have taken containers, which we have, those containers where the supplies come over. They've cut them in half and turned them into stores, little storefronts. And there's multiple units. But what I'm saying is that everyone is at this level, and I don't see anyone moving to the next level. So I started looking at some of the things that I'm interested in, and I knew if I brought them home, when I do go home from previous trips, people are always asking me about the clothing that I'm wearing, because I've been blessed to have found some seamstress that I'm working with that do great jobs. They do great work. So I was able to, invest in them and have them create some products for me. So it's wonderful. And when I come home, I'll be able to share those. The other thing that I've been blessed to see is that a lot of the jewelry and the artwork, like these bracelets I'm wearing today, let me see if I can get a better picture of them. There are different ones, and I just continue to see them. And I had a young lady here. I went to the marketplace. I saw the jewelry and I liked it. And she said, no, don't buy it. Let's make it. And she created a whole line of bracelets for me.
Wow.
And
Wow.
because of that, I was able to bring them home, give them away, sell them. My other friend has a crafts market. She's been able to move them. And so that brought increased revenue to this young lady. The African fans and the artwork and all those things we've been able to sell. So I have a gentleman that has a craft shop, and I've been extremely loyal, and he's seeing how our relationship is being beneficial to us both, because not only am I ordering from him, I am taking orders from the US to bring back with me.
Wow.
And yes, and the other two things that I just fell into, but again, I know it's God, is men's clothing. I had actually gone out and I wanted to get some custom made slippers for myself, the shoes. I heard these shoes were amazing. I'm not going to say where they're coming from because, that's, but they're amazing and handcrafted. And I was able to go out and I ran into a gentleman that did some fabulous work, and you'll see them soon. Hopefully you'll be able to share that when I launch it. But his work, which is second to none, I had not seen anyone's craftsmanship. So I thought I was going to buy a pair. I ended up buying 7. And now the total was 39 I have. And it's increasing, excuse me. And that the two of us have joint ventured on creating this product and bringing it home. And it's for men.
What does it tell you about you? That anywhere you touch, you're going to touch gold, and you're going to touch it. It's going to be happening.
It's been amazing.
I'm so happy for you, because I know when your passion, how passionate you are about something you believe in, and just how that blossoms. So not only are you recognizing the art from the motherland, but now you're preparing to market, manufacture, and to empower these manufacturers as small business owners themselves. That is just empowering. So you're really doing the same thing. You're creating those incubators right there in Ghana. That's just
exactly
awesome. I know we don't have a lot of time for us to continue to talk, because you know where we are, and I'm going to bring you back as I
yes.
Once you just mentioned that, once the product and the brand is out, I know it's time. It's not time to pre-release your brand.
Yes.
But when that happens, we're going to be honored to have you back on The Voice of Florida. Just for full disclosure as well, Hilda lives in the state of Florida. And as you know, this is the Voice of Florida. This only goes to show Hilda might not be an immigrant by within the last 200 years, but nonetheless, she was from the motherland by descendants. And yet she is a Jersey girl, right? Hilda?
Yes, I am.
she's a Jersey girl who lives in the state of Florida. And I just wanted to take a moment to realize that we are all, because of our origin or genetic trait, we are all merchants. We are all entrepreneurial because of the wealth we have in our genealogy. That we are realistically queens who should own and kings. There's royalty in our streams. And so wealth is something that is a natural desire for all of us, right? And Hilda, I just want to tell you how happy I am to call you friend and to thank you for not only empowering those on this side of the continent, but wanting to make sure that every person who has the ability, the strength, and the will, more so the artistry, that they too will be compensated in their own business spectrum. And I just want to thank you, sister. I thank you. I thank you. I thank you for being there. Now, you know, I still have to chip it in that everybody, and I also know this, let me share with the audience, that everybody Hilda meets in Africa who is a US citizen, within the time she's been there, she's reminding them that they need to register to vote.
Yes. It's so important. So important.
So there. So right now I'm encouraging anyone who hasn't registered to vote to go to I Will Vote. See where you can register to vote. That's I Will Vote. And see how you can go about and register to vote. There's also a link that I'll share later on in the program when we're speaking to my second guest about those who are Democrats abroad. But that link allows you, I Will Vote, will steer you into information that is needed. There's also a timeline for each state. There it is. The website is iwillvote.com. Please, folks, we don't have a lot of time to register to vote before November 5th. And there is also a list of each individual state that we'll share later on. But right now, my sister, thank you for being a guest with us today. And I wish you a continuous wealth to empower those around you. And just know that the sisterly love you have and the missions you're on, I pray that the Lord will continue to bless you and those you have around you in your circle. God bless you.
Thank you. And thank you for the opportunity and much success with this show and all of your future endeavors. Love you much. Take care.
Thank you.
Okay. Bye-bye.
God bless you. As I mentioned before,
Hello everybody, welcome back for another Healthy Minute. If you want to boost your brain health, make sure you eat more foods that are packed with omega-3 fatty acids, foods such as salmon and sardines. And if you want to increase your protein content, which is also excellent for your body, add some codfish. Codfish, fresh codfish in fact, is low in mercury, high in protein, and has a great number of vitamins and minerals. For this Healthy Minute, I'm Dr. Hafizullah. See you again soon. Thank you for watching. Please remember to click subscribe for the latest videos and updates. See you soon.
The voice of Florida. Your voice is our choice with Dr. Karen Green.
Wow, c'est choix nous.
Tu voz es nuestra elección.
Ta voix, c'est notre choix.
The voice of Florida.
La voz de la Florida.
Your voice is our choice with Dr. Karen Green.
Good morning, blessings, and welcome back to the second portion of The Voice of Florida today, where your voice is your choice. This morning, I continue with one of our special guests. This morning, I'm not only humbled, but honored to have Chief Bakre. Morning, blessings. How are you, Chief? Chief, can you hear us? Okay, so we are in fact having some difficulty coming in from Ghana. Our chief is trying to get on. He's being assisted by our other member, as you could see there. But let me just say this morning while we wait for them to come back on our program, that this is just really a time of empowerment. And given today's date, good morning, Chief. Can you hear me? Good afternoon, where you are.
Good afternoon, Karen.
Good afternoon, blessings, Chief Bakre. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. And how are you too?
I'm very well, thank you. And I want to say thank you for taking this time off this afternoon to just be with us. We humbly stand in your presence, Chief. Thank you for just sharing your moment with us. And thank you for being patient today for getting all this going. How are you? You're great. Ghana is great. Thank you, my brother. Thank you.
Thank you very much for inviting me.
I know many folks, we haven't had a moment to introduce who you are, but let me just take a moment to state that our brother here is a born Nigerian living in the country of Ghana, who happens to be a US citizen, and is one who has dedicated his life not only to being also a business development entrepreneur, but one who has served and worked within the sports industries as a consultant. And one of the things that we all Africans are, with a certain level of qualifications, is to be a political strategist and professional as well. My brother here is also a chief in Ghana, and for years he has worked within the sports industry as part of his repertoire. Let me just say thank you, brother, for being here today. And my introduction is just as modest as it is, but tell us who you are.
You are welcome in the first place. My name is Chief Ganiyu Bakare. I'm a naturalized U.S. citizen. I've lived in U.S. over 25 years. I was living in New Jersey, Hackensack, New Jersey, and later on moved to Maryland, Randallstown, Maryland, before I decided to come back home and help, especially in terms of sports. So I came home because my friend, a very good friend of mine, was the president of Ghana Football Association. So he asked for my help, and I came home to help him. And since then, I have been in Ghana, at times fly to Nigeria for one reason or another. Presently, I have a company called Look Sharp Sports Equip. Look Sharp Sports Equip deals with all these sports equipments and all other things relating to football. And I have another company called R&B Construction Company. I do a little construction of house, roads, and some other things. That is what I do for now.
Well, my Chief Bakri, thank you so much. You know, we share a few things in common. One is that when we talk about football, we need to remind folks that as we're talking about the real football. You know, it could be our the United States that we're talking about what it is, but for us, it's soccer. For us,
exactly.
You know,
pardon me for that, because I just omit that and say, oh, football, because football is what we call it in all over Africa, and except United States that we call it soccer.
Well, you know, my brother. It took a while.
It doesn't really make any difference.
Yes.
What I'm saying is that it doesn't really make any difference because it's something we kick with our legs. Even though the American football is the same, they kick it with their legs too.
Yes, yes.
But it's well known in Africa as football. When you talk about football, everybody know exactly what you mean.
Well,
but in America, you need to.
I'm sorry to interject, but let me just say this: that just for clarification, the only country, in my opinion, that knows or refers to football, the only country that doesn't is the United States, because the whole world knows soccer to be football. So the United States is the country that chooses to have football in their own sport. And, you know, we love the athletes across the globe, but let us just be authentic that football for us from the Caribbean and everywhere else in the world is soccer. Okay. So we'll have
exactly.
We'll have that fixed. You know, let me not spend too much time on that, but I wanted to also emphasize that part of not only the equipment piece, I'm also aware that you're into holistic and natural mediums for healthy athletes, that you also believe in a healthy way of life for athletes. Expound on that.
Coming on that, you see, soccer, I will call it soccer, is something that I am so much interested in, because myself, I'm a soccer player. When I was in school, I won a lot of medals in school and so on. So when I joined we call it GFA, which is Ghana Football Association, I look at a lot of things that I think they are lack of so many things. I'll give you one typical example. I witnessed the death of three soccer players, professional soccer players. Some of they died instantly while they are training.
Wow.
And I look at it, why? What could have caused this death? This is the third person that we found dead. So something must stop this. There must be something that we have to do to save the lives of these soccer players. So I introduced a machine, a defibrillating machine that revives unconscious person when he happens to fall at the pitch.
I see.
So I introduced that into the football system.
Wonderful.
And then from there, the instant pain reliever, which is a spray. If you watch soccer, most of the time you will see that people get kicked, and when they get kicked, the medical doctors come to the field right away to put up the spray that kills the pains, and you see the player going back to play. So those are the things that I'm involved in.
I see.
You know, try to save the life of the soccer player. You know, because the defibrillator is a very good machine that as soon as the person is unconscious, you put it on the person, it revives the heart, then you rush the person to the hospital for the doctor to take care of the rest.
Wow, Chief Bakri, that's something that I don't think many people know about. And at some point, you and I will speak some more about that. Let me also say that that is another part of my familiarity. You know, I remember when Jamaica, the Reggae Boys, got to the finals in France, in Paris. I was there. Not only that, my sister, you know, Jamaica, where I'm from in Jamaica, politics and football and cricket is the most important way of life. Is part of, that's our every engine moving attraction. My sister for many years actually was a part of the Jamaica Football Federation. So I'm a little passionate and sensitive to that as well. I know that soccer might not have received, people don't realize that soccer is one of the most played games in the world, one of the most recognized games. And also from your experience, having been a player, that this is one of the sports that most of our African players are seasonally playing in Europe. And that is my understanding. The top players have to go to Europe because of the income that they receive on playing on these major primary teams. Is that correct?
Yes. That is why now we are trying to groom the youths. With the education, we have now added soccer into it, so that we call something catch them young. We grew there at a certain period of age, so that when they have education with their soccer, they can make a choice in their life. You see, because we find out that most of our players, excuse me to say with all due respect to all of them, most of our players are behind in education. So we look at it that because some of them will go and sign a contract that they don't even understand. So we realize all this. So we talk about it and we discuss at length about it, that what can we do to stop this? Let's try and put education with whatever football they are playing.
Wonderful.
So that they will not lag behind in both of them. So that is why we have so many academies now in Ghana trying to groom the children from their youth age, so that in the future when they go to Europe, they will be able to know the contents of their contract. Nobody can cheat them in all this. So the growing of the youth over here and the development of the academy is growing very fast. You will see that most of the coaches in, I will not say in the United States alone, but all over the world, they are trying as much as possible to make sure that they come here and do a recruitment of football players, soccer players.
I see.
It has become a very common over here now.
So let me interject for one moment right there, because with you, I can actually say within the last 10 years or so that football, soccer that we know is now becoming more popular in America. More so, the women's soccer team has become really professional and is earning the respect. We know that, you know, many sports, until you become internationally competitive, you don't become valid or recognized, right? And I think within the last 2 World Cup cycles that the women have been playing, does Ghana have an intrigue or a women's soccer interest as well?
Very, very well. Very, very well, because when you look at the World Cup, they have participated 2 or more than 3 times.
Wow.
And in Africa, African Cup of Nations, the woman part of it, Ghana has won it.
Wow.
More than 2-3 times.
Wow.
So the development of the women football is growing very fast. It's growing very fast because we have the women league, women league which we played every year, and the team together, they are more than 30.
Interesting, because again, that's something else that I realized the Caribbean islands have, because, for example, referring to Jamaica again, the Reggae Girls, they play professional too. Another point you just mentioned, Chief, was the literacy. Now, here in America, athletes are recruited, and at the same time, there are scholarships attached to most of these recruitments. So there is a sense of not only being there now becomes you have to have some academia to get a scholarship in this country, in America, that is, not only for soccer, but for every sport. You know, a football scholarship comes with a school recruiting you and all that kind of stuff. Is that something that happens in Africa as well? Where are they now associating advanced education with sports, or are you doing this independently to educate your players?
It's not as easy as we mentioned. It's not as easy as that. Even though they are now bringing in so many American sports into Ghana, basketball, football, all these are being introduced in Ghana now. But the main problem is sponsorship. The sponsorship, no matter how good you are, to get a sponsorship is a very big issue.
Okay.
So we try as much as possible to get people who could be of help to those people that are involved.
Okay.
Because it's not an easy thing for the government alone, because our women football and other sports are being owned by private individuals. And the private individuals who owns the club, they don't have that kind of financial resources to say, okay, we are giving you a scholarship to go to such a place or such a place. The only way out for them is when a player, a country or a team in outside is interested in buying that player. That is where you attach the condition and say, okay, you are buying it, but we need you to give a scholarship. But for the individual, it's very tough. It's very tough.
So you and I are going to continue this conversation another time, because it sounds like for football to advance in Ghana, it requires sponsorship, not just recruitment. It requires education, and it requires to expand the sport and what you've dedicated your life and your priorities to. Before we leave our interview today, or visit and talk, I wanted to just touch on something that is dear to us, because I know as a U.S. citizen, I know how you feel about the freedom and democracy of this country. In 1 minute, tell me, what is the momentum? How does Africa feel that right now we're in a position where we could very well have the first black woman of Indian and Jamaican, of African descent, to become the president of these United States? What is the feel there happening in Africa?
I personally, I think there is a say that what is good for the goose is also good for the gander. I don't think there is any reason why a woman cannot become United States president. There is no reason for it.
Yes.
Because when you look at it, for example, Great Britain, Margaret Thatcher became a prime minister over there. And when you look at it, what a man can do, at times a woman can do it better. And we shouldn't forget one thing. One thing we shouldn't forget is that all women all over the world, they are our mothers.
Yes.
They are our mother.
Yes, ma'am. Yes,
it doesn't mean he has to be the one who born you or anything. They are our mother. And they have their ability. If they have all the ability to carry us for 9 months,
yes,
deliver us, so why can't they have the ability to govern us?
Thank you, my brother. That's the most Go ahead.
At least we should once try a woman. It has all the time been men. We never give the woman a chance. Let us at least once in our lifetime, let us give a woman a chance, and let's see where he will take us to.
Chief Bakri, I'm going to make sure I invite you back, because on that note, You have just expounded the reality of realizing that it's not, when we talk about Mother Nature and Mother Universe and all that kind of stuff, you are so right that a woman is truly the giver, the carrier of life. And there is a responsibility of leadership. I thank you on that note. Before we go, you know, as I mentioned before, that time is winding down for people to register to vote. Because each state has a different timeline. In the state of Florida, it's going to be on October 7th that folks need to register to vote. But I also know that Democrats abroad need to have an opportunity to register to vote as well, because this week ballots are going out. In 1 minute, I'm going to ask our producer to just share the link again for folks who are abroad to register to vote. And I will be in touch with you, my brother, because so many of us across the globe are disenfranchised because we don't remember and know how to vote. Right here, you see posted on here, this is how you register Democrats abroad to vote. You go, that is how people are inclined. So go to Democrats Abroad and register to vote. Democrats Abroad, register to vote. For those who are Americans across the world, please just go to Democrats Abroad and register to vote, because we need every vote to count. The world needs us, and the world needs each of us across the globe to participate. Chief Bakri, I'm so blessed to have had you here with us today, and I look forward to continuing this discussion. I look forward to even hugging you at some point, sharing the love and the respect, my brother. God bless you.
Bless you, and thank you so much for inviting me. And not only that, I will one of these days expect you to visit Ghana to come and see the wonderful things that is happening here, which a lot of people doesn't know about.
Well, I will tell you that.
I'm so grateful talking to you, and God bless you, and God multiply for you, and bless you abundantly.
I received that blessing, and I'll see you soon with that invitation. God bless you. Thank you again. Thank you, my brother, for joining us.
And I greet all your listeners. God bless all your listeners, and they know who to vote for anyway.
Well, you know, we without disclosure, we just said, you know, a woman needs to lead at this point. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Chief. Before we leave this afternoon, let me just thank our viewers from watching The Voice of Florida. And thank you, remembering that your voice is your choice. And just remember, today it's 50 days before the election cycle, before November 5th. I encourage you all to register to vote. Wherever you are in the country, wherever you're in the world, Democrats abroad, please register to vote. Thank you again. Let's keep each other in prayers. Let's keep each other counted, lifted. And again, for the state of Florida, where this is your voice, thank you for joining us, where your voice is your
You are welcome.
Have a great day.
Welcome to our TV network, your ultimate destination for all things exciting and essential. From mouth-watering food to the latest in fashion, health, education, music, movies, and news, plus thrilling sports and breathtaking travel, our TV network brings it all to you. Tune in today and experience the best of every world, all in one place, RTV.network.